This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Sunset Trail, model number 268RL. Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through and around the trailer and point out some of the features, okay? So starting at the off-door side rear here, we can see that we have an outside kitchen, and it has obviously a refrigerator. And down here we have a kind of a griddle here, okay, right there. Now keep in mind the LP line has to be plugged in to the system to work. So this is the male end of it right here. Normally you'll pull it downward and plug it in right, let me go over here a little bit, right here. So that's where you plug it into. This also has a power stabilizer, so you have one switch controls both rear, and then you'll have another switch up front that controls both front. Now these stabilizers can be cranked manually. If you come around to the off-door side and look at them, you can see there's a shaft with a pin through it there. If we walk up front to the storage, pass through storage, you'll see there's a crank right here that has a cylinder with a slot cut in it that'll accept that shaft with a pin, so you can actually crank it manually by this side to get yourself out of trouble if you need to. Okay, alrighty, so back to where we were. You have a power awning with LED strip, outside speakers. You got the TV hook up here plus power if you wanted to put a TV out there. This is your water heater. Right now it's drained. You can see the cap's off, so it's empty right now and it's bypassed. That's because it's winterized right now. So when the spring comes around and you de-winterize the trailer, just make sure that you after you change the bypass valve to camping mode and put the cap on the drain, make sure you fill up the water tank, the hot water tank that's located just behind here. Make sure you fill that up before you turn it on, okay? Now the switches to operate this are inside the trailer. I'll show you those when we get in there. But the bottom line is you never run it dry. You always want water in it when you're running it. Okay, so that is just furnace out. Of course, your steps fold into the trailer and you can adjust the legs independently of each other. Front stabilizers, electrical switch. It's this side of the pass-through storage. Now, this little crank here, this one is actually for a power tongue jack. You have a power tongue jack, obviously, that has a light and it goes up and down, right? Now if this was to ever fail for whatever reason, you can pull this plug right off of here and you can put that little crank on it and you can crank manually. So you can always get out of trouble that way. You can always hitch and unhitch no matter what. Also you have a hitch. This is a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how this operates when you pick up the trailer. Okay, a little farther back also you see your dump hose, which comes with it, and that, I don't know if you can see that little adapter there that goes from 30 to 20 amps for your power cord, but nevertheless there it is. 2 LP tanks full, deep cycle marine battery, and right here is the kill switch for your battery, so you can actually shut it off if you want to. If you have it in storage, whatever, you can always shut it off. So this is the water area here. Basically you have city water hookup, which is the most common way to get water to the trailer, right? If you're camping someplace, boondocking, or just someplace that doesn't have city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here. So you would just put the hose on here, or in here, fill it up, and then you'll use the onboard pump to pump the water. I'll show you where the switch is inside for that. But of course you don't have to use this unless you don't have city water, okay? And this other hookup here is for your black tank flush. After you dump your black tank, your dump valves are here. You can see the black and the white. I'm sorry, the black and the gray. Black is toilet water and waste, gray is sink and shower water. After you dump the black tank, you leave the valve open. You have to leave the valve open like it states on this sticker here. You do that and it'll flush out. Basically, you turn the water, it'll flush out the black tank, spray off the sensors, that sort of thing, okay? Also down here is a drain for the fresh water tank. If you can see it down there, it's a white gate valve. Okay? Alright, your slide room, just so you know, there are different types. This one's called an AccuSlide. You can tell by the cables. You do have the slide topper on it. Okay? So we come around the back here. He's probably got this locked, but all this is, oh no, it's open. This is your hookup for your cable and satellite, and it's also power booster. You can see it right there. All right. This is your shore cord, your 30 amp cord. Remember I told you there's a reducer to reduce it down so you can plug it in at home if you need to. By that housing up there, just tells us it's pre-wired for a backup camera. So it'll take a Furion backup camera if you choose. You have a ladder here, which is great because that makes it easy to inspect the roof. They inspect, say the manufacturer states you should inspect it every 60 days. So you want to go up there and look around, or have somebody go up there and look around. Make sure there's no cracking or separation at any of the sealant. Make sure none of the roofing attachments were damaged by road debris or by low branches, that sort of thing. Just inspect it to keep ahead of things in case there's an issue, okay? This is just a sprayer port here. You get a coiled sprayer with it. Okay, let's go inside here. It's warm. Okay, we're still cleaning up here, so tell it's a little dirty, but we're working on it. Okay, so let me start by getting some light here. Okay, so this is your control panel. You have your power awning switch here. Never leave the power awning out unattended. So if you leave the awning out, excuse me, if you're leaving the campsite, roll the awning in so it doesn't get damaged by the weather. This is your slide room switch here. Your water pump is right here. You use that to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. You also use that pump to winterize the trailer. To light your water heater on gas, there. To light it on electric is there, or run it on electric is there. Remember, never run it dry. Always make sure there's water in the tank. And this also has tank heaters in it, so you can turn that on, and there's heating pads on your holding tanks, and it'll just basically extend your camping season. It keeps them from freezing up. And then you have your battery charged, fresh water is empty, black tank is empty. Black tank 2 you disregard because there's not 2 black tanks, and you have your gray. They graduate up in 1/3 increments. Once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the gray in the black tank, of course. Okay, so this switch right here is you can't run your air conditioner and your fireplace at the same time because it draws too many amps. So you have to select what you're doing. So right now it's winter, so you're not going to be running the air conditioner, so you just flip it down here like this to run your fireplace, which is running right there, okay? Once it gets warm out and you're going to use AC, you flip it the other direction. This is your thermostat. You just hit the mode bar to light it up. Right now we're on heat. You just keep poking it, and you'll as you push it, it'll rotate through through all the options. Your next options will be fan. The fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. It just circulates air. And then it'll go to air conditioning. They'll just say cool, cool high, cool low, and then low auto and high auto. With the air conditioner, if they give you an option for auto fan, always take that one. That's the best way to go. Okay? All right. So this device right here is your power converter. This converts AC to DC power. So you open it by pushing it there. Okay, so inside you have 110 AC circuit breakers like you'd have at home, and they're labeled, right? Then the power is converted from 110 AC to 12 volt DC over here, so you got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. Okay. These 240s are the masters, so if you ever have a massive power surge and the 12 volt side goes out, always check there, because odds are that's where the problem will be. Like I said, they're all labeled. Also, you can see them glowing through this tinted plastic if they happen to blow. Importantly, this is a battery tender, so it keeps your battery charged. So it'll always, as long as you're plugged in to shore power, it'll sense how much energy your battery up front needs and has, and it'll you know, if it's topped off, let's say, it'll just trickle a couple amps up there to maintain it. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs. So it'll always keep your battery charged while you're plugged in. Of course, when you're towing down the road, your tow vehicle alternator will charge the battery too. So, all right. So your fireplace has a remote right here. All right. So basically, you can choose Celsius or Fahrenheit, of course. Then you can do this thing here where you can sort of dim the fire out, or the crystals out, I guess what you would say. Then you have your temperature up and down, like so. And you have a timer on it also, so you can set it to turn on and turn off whenever you want. So that's all done either with the controls here or with the remote here. Okay. Okay. So your TV is not just a TV; it's also an FM radio. It has Bluetooth in it, so you can stream from your phone to your tablet, whatever. It has two speakers, zone 1, or I think in this one it might be A and B. Either way, 1 or A is in the inside of the trailer, 2 or B is the outside. The remote, you can see it's A and B. At the very bottom you see A and B. Bluetooth pair, you know, and then it does have FM radio and all that. So it's a TV with the features basically of a stereo also. So it makes it nice. This one, I think, swings out. Yeah, it's got a swing out bracket, so it snaps into place, which is great. Okay, the refrigerator is a 12-volt DC refrigerator. It's very simple. You have just on and off here. You have to hold the button for a few seconds to get it to respond. You don't just push it. You have to hold it. Then you can increase your temperature here or reduce it here. Then you have different modes, energy saving modes here, like a night mode, for example, which uses less energy, so you can save energy that way. But it's a nice size. It's got a nice size freezer on it. Okay. Now the table, you can actually remove it and drop it down and turn this into a bed if you need to. Okay. This is a hide-a-bed here. You have to pull the cushions off, like this, both of them off. Then you would grab it right here, and you'll fold it out and drop the panel in place. There's 3 panels, so it makes it's a really nice hide-a-bed. It's got kind of foam panels on it. All right. Your keys are hanging right here. This is your range hood fan. So you do have a fan on it to vent, and then you have a light also. Your microwave works like any other microwave. When it comes to your range here, basically you have a sparker here. You turn it clockwise to spark it. Clockwise to spark it. Then you have 3 knobs here for the 3 burners, and then the last one's for the oven. Let me see if he's got the gas turned on here. Yeah, so it's that simple. When it comes to the oven, it's a little bit different. You have to, at the bottom all the way to the back is a pilot light. I can probably spark it so you can see it. Yeah, so you can see it back there. So what you do is you go to the oven knob, you go to the picture of the flame, which means pilot, then you depress it. You keep it depressed during the whole lighting procedure. You start sparking it with the other hand until you see it light back here. Once it lights, you still hold this for 10 or 15 more seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature, and it cycles as an oven does. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, obviously, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Always travel with this cover closed so it doesn't get broken. Okay. Alrighty, so let me look around this room, make sure I've covered everything. I think I've got it. This is telling us that it's pre-wired to accept a digital signal booster and router. So if you were to scan this with your phone, it'll take you to a website where it can tell you more about it. Basically, you would get an antenna on the roof. There's also a place on the roof where the antenna would mount, and then a box that goes over here. That is a router, a signal booster, that sort of thing. And you can even go 4G if you wanted. Most people would just go with the Wi-Fi signal booster for the public Wi-Fi, but it's up to you. You can learn more about it if you want. It's pre-wired for that, and like I told you outside, it's pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera too if you wanted to add that. Okay, we have all that stuff here if you're interested. Okay, so the bathroom, sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Yeah, this plug here is actually a GFCI plug, as you can see. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through this GFCI, so even the one on the outside. So keep that in mind, that if you're outside and you pop it, you're going to reset it here. Okay, the toilet is an RV toilet, so we're winterized right now, so there's antifreeze in it, but there's the flush pedal. This antifreeze coming out there. It's residual pressure. The black tank is directly below. So the main thing about RV toilets, you can't use them dry. By dry means without water and chemical in the black tank right below. You have to have at least a gallon of water to start off with, and chemical. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, you come in here, you put the chemical in there, then you step on the pedal and stand on it long enough to put at least a gallon of water in there, and you're all set. But you can't use it dry, otherwise the smell is terrible and it can get clogged up. So keep that in mind. You also have a fan up there. Alrighty. Down here, just so you know, this is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If not, get it serviced. If it goes off, it means it's detected carbon monoxide or LP gas buildup. So basically, you're going to take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off, figure out what's going on. If it beeps very slowly, the same tone but very slowly, it's telling you that your battery's low. So it does three things. All right, so here you have another vent up here. You have TV hookups. I don't know if you can see that, but you have a backing plate on the wall to mount a bracket if you want for your TV. The escape window, emergency window, works like this. You push it all the way through. It would go all the way through. Then you grab a hold of the tab and you pull the screen out and you can escape through there in an emergency. Otherwise, you can just use it for ventilation like that. Okay. You pull up the bed here and there's some storage underneath. Then you have storage here, which is great. These blinds just pull down. Okay, so keep that in mind. Smoke detector. Then we have another, like a pantry here. Okay. I think that covers it, so let me look around to make sure I didn't forget anything here. Okay, I think that does it. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting your roof. The manufacturer states every 60 days. Basically, you're just keeping ahead of things. You can go up, you might have to, let's put it this way, I'm sure in most cases you'll go up there for years without having to do anything. But there's always potential problems, so you want to go up there and make sure that everything is in good shape and no water's leaking in, there's been no damage, that sort of thing. So that's why it's so important to inspect your roof. That's just part of owning a trailer. And right now, it's winterized, so all the water's been purged from the system and replaced with antifreeze. The water heater has been bypassed and drained, so it's empty. So make sure you fill it up before you turn it on, okay? Thank you very much.